Aries, and welcome to your forecast for this coming month. That's July 2022. My name is Justina, and in today's video, I'm going to discuss the main astrological events happening in the month to come, and I'll tell you how they will influence your zodiac sign on a more personal level. So here, this month, we've got lots of interesting events happening. Your Mars, your ruler, will change signs into Taurus. However, before this happens, we've got a quite tense energy as we begin the month. So here, the first, the second, the third, that's the strongest influence. Mars, your ruler, in the first house will square Pluto in Capricorn in the 10th house. So here, squares often involve situations that happen out of our control. So this could be as a result of any circumstances that you find yourself in around this time, or perhaps a person that might upset you, stand in your way, block your efforts. Now, this person might be related to your career sphere. This could be your boss, superior, manager, or perhaps it could be a parent or someone who acts as a parental figure in your life. So whatever the scenario here in the first days of the month, the best way to deal with these energies is to find a way to release any frustration, any tension. So you might find it beneficial if you get involved in a physical activity, or perhaps if you just do something that keeps you busy. So that's what I wanted to say about this square. Now, at the same time, Mars in Aries is really strong. That's your ruler in its own sign. So here, this square happens every single year, so it might not be such a big deal. However, here with Pluto involved, you might find it beneficial if you try to keep busy and stay busy throughout this time. Now, on July the 4th, Mars, your ruler, will move into Taurus, into your second house, where it will remain throughout the whole of July. So here, Taurus rules your second house, your financial sphere, to be more specific. Also, anything to do with self-worth, self-esteem, personal value. So here, your ego strongly identifies this month with your financial sphere. And here, this transit is very good for working with your finances if you are working towards a specific goal related to your career, for example. Now, with Mars in your second house, you will have the courage, the drive, the motivation to work towards that specific objective. At the same time, you might feel more competitive than usual as well. Something to pay attention to with this transit is to be cautious or aware of your spendings, because here with Mars in the second house, very often we act before thinking, especially when it comes to any major purchases. So here, watch out when it comes to your money spending habits. So here with Mars in Taurus also, the energies are likely to slow down. This is a good time for working steadily towards a specific goal, towards a specific objective. Now, here with Taurian energy, you will be able to get through to the end. So that's something really positive. Now, here Venus is in Gemini until the 17th of July. That's your third house. So also in the first 2 weeks and a half of the month, your social life might be pretty pleasant, pretty busy as well. The third house is related to social activity. So you might find yourself interacting with others, or perhaps you might be involved in some activities or events in your community life. So that's all beneficial for you. But this transit also here, Venus in Gemini, benefits your relationship with your siblings, and you might find yourself reading books that are related to romance or poetry, for instance. Now, on July 14th, we've got a full moon in Capricorn at 21 degrees of Capricorn. And here, Capricorn rules your 10th house. So at this time, your career life will be fully illuminated. So you might start something, so you might be working on some specific projects related to your career, or this could be a highlight of some major events, especially if you've been involved in any major activity related to your professional life path. Now, during this full moon, you might see some results, some fruits of your efforts. Now, with this full illumination here in your 10th house, this could be also related to your to your public status. Perhaps some changes on this front could emerge as well. But generally, this really influences your career life. So for those of you who've been looking for a job, perhaps you might finally hear from your potential employer. Whatever happens here during a full moon in the 10th house is unlikely to be hidden. So everything is out in the public as well, especially here your personal life as well. Right, so here this full moon will also oppose Mercury in Cancer. So you might find yourself in a situation or perhaps in some conflict with someone related to your home life, family life, or perhaps this could be your landlord if you're renting a property. So whatever the scenario, you might have to find a common ground here, find a resolution. That's the opposition. Opposition usually involve another person, and it's like a seesaw effect. So you need to find a resolution, a common ground, as I've already just mentioned. Right, so here moving forward, July the 17th, Venus enters Cancer, your 4th house. At the same time, the Sun will be here as well for the first 5 days of this transit. So this benefits your home life here. Venus in Cancer feels really amazing. Venus in Cancer will prompt you to beautify your home space, to decorate, redecorate, or buy some nice object. Well, generally, whatever you get throughout this transit for your home, it's going to be something that you need to emotionally connect to. So you seek this emotional connection with any objects of beauty, or perhaps you might be hosting events, or generally this transit really benefits your family life. Now here on the 22nd, the Sun will move your 5th house. So from this moment in time, you might be also kind of more stimulated to have more fun in your life in general and social activity. So generally this month feels like is going to be very active when it comes to any social events, any outgoings, for instance, or perhaps you might receive a lovely gift because here gifts are connected to the 5th house, and you might be involved in some activities with young people, your children as well. Or perhaps this could be a holiday season for you since the 5th house also is connected to holidays. Now here on July the 28th, we've got a new moon in Leo. So that's really great. Now a new moon, new beginnings, a great time for planting some seeds for the future. So that's happening in your 5th house of children, creativity. So this could be a time when you might be already going on a holiday or booking a holiday, or perhaps there could be some new beginnings in your child's life, or your child might be getting married, engaged, or perhaps you might your child might be recognized for some important achievements at school, for example. But at the same time, your romantic side of life gets really activated around this time. A new moon in a playful and theatrical Leo. So this definitely influences your romantic side of life as well. And of course, here as well, anything to do with entertainment or freelancing or your interest, you might find new interests for yourself. You might start a new hobby to fill up some of your free time. So this also actually really benefits hobbies and interests here, this new moon in Leo. Here on the 28th also, we've got Jupiter stationing retrograde in your 1st house in Aries. So here with Jupiter retrograde in the 1st house, throughout this time, while Jupiter stays retrograde for the next few months, you might become more competitive than usual. You might want to be recognized for some accomplishments. And also under the influence of this retrograde, you might want to become more independent or highly independent. But as with every retrogrades slow down the energies of a planet. So here Jupiter is connected to expansion. Jupiter is connected to freedom, spontaneity, and optimism as well. So here all of these aspects or keywords connected to Jupiter are likely to be kind of maybe slowed down or delayed. And you might also kind of be reviewing, reassessing any goals, any achievements as well. And actually, this would be a really good time for doing so because Jupiter will move to Aries permanently in the final days of December and will remain here until May. And then again at the end of 2023. So here during this retrograde, this would be a really good time for reviewing, reassessing anything that's personal to you, to your persona, to your ego, to your life. That will be a good time for for that. Here at the end of the month, also on July 28th, actually, we've got this amazing conjunction between Uranus and the North Node. And this is happening in your second house. So this could be such an interesting time, some interesting new beginnings or an unexpected sudden situations, events that may emerge out of the blue concerning your financial sphere. Here, Uranus is connected to technology and anything that's modern, futuristic, and well, anything connected to media as well. Now here, the North Node is about the future, about the unknown, about the unexplored. So that could be a really interesting time. So this is all happening around this new moon in Leo, and perhaps this new moon might also stimulate you to turn your hobby, your interest, into an additional source of income, or perhaps into your career, into your job, into your business. I will discuss this conjunction more in depth in a separate video. I just wanted to give you some heads up today. All right, so here on this note, I wish you a pleasant month. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.